Hi, and welcome to BG24 Public Affairs. I'm Jasmine Burnett, and this is DeMonte Quincy and Gary Malvo.
On tonight's show, we will be joined by two representatives from the Green Fund's Run 5K. They will be here to tell us about the great cause and how you can participate.
Then later, we will be joined by Valeria Greenberg-Plot, an associate professor of Latin American literature. She will be here to talk about the 5th annual Latino Conference coming up.
That's right. Then later we will be joined by Devin Williams, a contestant on the upcoming competition, The Hatch. She will be here to talk about her product.
Then we'll be chatting live to talk about all things happening in the world of popular culture.
Keep it locked. It all happens after the break. With the temperature rising, many people are going outside and getting active. Here at BGSU, many organizations host 5K runs to help fundraise and build awareness for a cause. Here with us today about the upcoming Green Fund Run is Taisha Hodges and Elaine Souter. I got your name right. So can you tell us about what is the Green Run 5K?
So the Green Fund Run is just a 5K just to build awareness of sustainable options, as well as the Green Fund that which students actually pay for. The Green Fund Run consists of just the 5K, as well as afterwards we'll come back together and have a Green Fest where there'll be different activity tables and just really having fun. Throughout the course there'll be different signs posted, so with the signs you'll have different facts on them where you'll see the options that you might have, as well as just about the Green Fund itself. And that is actually how you'll receive the prizes that we have, because it is a walk/run, so it's not based on who completes the 5K first.
That is very good. Now, this is my second year at BGSU, and I know why that $5 where is going. But can you explain a little more about the Green Fund?
Well, the Green Fund is a student-run organization where actually all students are welcome to try and apply and to be a part of it, but they kind of manage those funds, and every student on campus is welcome to submit an application for a grant from that Green Fund, so that their funds that all the students put into this fund go back to the students in a sustainable way.
That is a great idea. Because now, as a society, we're trying to get more like recyclable. I don't know if you heard the term of recyclable, reuse, and the other R word. But it better help, the environment and make us a clean campus. So how did you all get involved?
Well, it was actually through a class that Ty and I had together, as well as the rest of the committee members. We were all in Dr. Jody Haney's intro class for environmental studies, and one of her class requirements was to submit an application, because the Green Fund is always looking for those new ideas to promote green on campus. And so we did it through a class project, and the Green Fund liked our idea, and so here we are for actually our second annual Green Fund Run. Yes.
What about you? Oh, both of y'all have the same
Yes.
story. I heard her story now. What's your story? Okay. Okay, so during the run and walk of the 5K, can you tell us what prizes students could win?
Well, last year we had solar speakers, so obviously we have lots of sun, depending on the day here in Ohio, and so we had solar speakers. And this year actually we're trying to get this one prize, and I think it's so cool. I'm so excited about this, because I'm a big hiker myself, and there's a solar panel on a backpack that if you're ever out hiking and your phone starts to die, you can actually just plug your phone into your backpack and charge it while you're walking.
Okay, so with the other surprise you're trying to keep secret, if we can't let them know what prize, so that will get them to come out. I see what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
So who is in charge with the Green Fund? Is in charge with the whole 5K, or?
Well, the Green Fund did offer us the money so we could put on the event for everybody here on campus to come participate in. But Dr. Jody Haney is our faculty mentor, and she works pretty closely with us, as well as the Cosmos office here on campus works with us to get everything organized and get everything taken off the ground.
This is very different, because normally when you hear about 5K happening on campus, it's like a certain organization. But with this one, it comes out of the works of a classroom and a professor.
Right.
So, so what if you don't want to volunteer, if you don't want a 5K, because me, myself, I probably don't want to run or walk a 5K. So what other ways students can get involved?
You can get involved by volunteering. We actually, for next year, we're also looking for more people to help with the planning of the Green Fund Run once again. And just like if you want to get involved, you could just simply like our page on Facebook at Green Fund Run, and all of the links to register, to volunteer, as well as walk/run is there.
Okay, what are the perks of registering early?
Well, we have t-shirts, water bottles, and frisbees for our participants who register early, and those are while supplies last, but we want all of you to come out and all of you to have a great time and just get you all those things, so register early.
That's cool. So you heard it with Taisha and Elaine. If you want to register for the 5K, it is April the 25th from 10 a.m. to 12:30, and that's a Saturday. So stay tuned, because when we come back, Gary will be finding out more about the 5th annual Latino Conference.
Many students here at BGSU may be interested to learn more about Latin America and what it is to be Latino. Tonight we are joined by Valeria Greenberg-Pla, an associate professor here at BGSU. She is here with us to talk about the upcoming 5th annual Latin American and Latino Studies Student Research Conference. Great to have you here, Valeria.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you.
So, can you explain a little bit about what goes on during this conference?
Absolutely. This is a conference that we organize every year, and it features scholarship by BGSU students, both graduate and undergraduate students. So we are excited to go and listen what all the students have to tell about what they have learned about Latinos in the United States and also about Latin America.
Mm-hmm. And so how many different students will be participating this year?
We will have 4 panels,
okay.
And in each panel we have 4 presenters, and they will focus on different issues. We have panels on US Latinos, we have panels on literature, on culture, on food, so different aspects of Latino life in the United States, and also different issues that are important to understand Latin America.
Mm-hmm. Are there any special guest speakers that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, yes. We will have a special guest. He will be our keynote speaker. He's a photojournalist, a photographer based in Tijuana, Mexico. His name is David Maung. He was born in Chicago, but he has been living in Mexico for the last 20 years.
Wow.
Yes, and so we are lucky to have him here. This is exciting for us. We will be displaying his photographs of the border between San Diego and Tijuana.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I hope so. A lot of people come. The photographs will be displayed at the gallery in the Union.
Okay.
And the exhibit will be open from Monday, April 13, until Wednesday, the 15th. And anyone is welcome to walk around and look at the pictures of the border.
And where in the Union are these photos going to be?
In the gallery.
In
there
the
is
gallery,
a gallery. The gallery is underneath the post office.
Okay. All right there, yeah. I didn't know that was there. So why do you think it's so important to have a conference like this at BG?
Because it's important for people living in the United States to be familiar with Latin America beyond stereotypes. I think we share a very long border with Mexico.
Yeah.
And many people in the United States are of Latin American descent, like myself. I was born in Argentina, for instance. And so Spanish is an important language within the United States too. So it's interesting, I think, and relevant to anyone in the United States to be educated about Latin America and US Latinos.
And is there anything that specifically that you want people to take away from this conference, that you want them to learn?
The opportunity to have a dialogue and a discussion about these issues. Also, the importance of doing research, even if you're an undergrad student. Many of our students that will be presenting there will present things that they've learned about taking classes, and then they started their own projects, and we are proud of their accomplishments. Some of them will be presenting in Spanish, which I think it's also exciting. And the fact that we have the opportunity to look at the human side of the border, looking at the photographs by David Maung, I think that's something.
Yeah, that would be great. Now, do all of these students that are presenting, have they all taken Spanish at some point?
Some of them have. Thank you for asking that. Some are Spanish students or Spanish education students, but some students do not speak Spanish because they are international studies majors, or they study political science or ethnic studies, and they focus on social issues, or they focus on US Latinos, so no, they don't necessarily speak Spanish.
That's really interesting too. So what's your favorite panel? Out of all the 4 panels, can you pick a favorite?
No, I don't think I have a favorite. I'm always very proud when my own students present, so I'm particularly excited to hear them speaking, but I think all panels are great.
So which panels are your students presenting in? Are they in all 4, or?
some of my students will be presenting at the last panel. Oh, I think I didn't say that. The panels will be all in room 314 in the Union from 10:30 to 3:30, and the keynote at 4. And so the panel from 2:30 to 3:30, those will be the graduate students presenting. So I'm very excited about them from our Master in Spanish here at BGSU.
So what time is the event again?
It's on Monday, April 13, from 10:30 to 3:30 p.m. student presentations, and then at 4, the keynote speech. And very important, after that, there is a kickoff for the exhibit with some food. So
okay, yes, food. Yeah, that's the most important part of anything. Thank you for being with us, Valeria.
My pleasure.
Don't forget to attend the conference on Monday, April 3rd from 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the BGSU Student Union Theater. Stay tuned, because when we come back, Jasmine will be here with a contestant from the Hatch.
Each year, students have the opportunity to launch a business with the help from business startup program called the Hatch. If selected as hatchling, the students then work on business presentations with the help from a mentor. From food truck to talking children's language toy to a trick shot to a tech turf, you somehow end up with the idea for a music app. Here with me tonight, you have hatchling inventor Devin Williams with her MuSync app. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, then. So you came up with the music app. So
Yes.
tell us how you came up with this idea.
Well, actually, it's really funny because my boyfriend and I were walking through campus, and he took his earphone out of his ear and tried to shove it in my ear. And I said, whoa, no thank you, no thank you. And before he did that, actually, he had mentioned the Hatch to me. I hadn't really heard of it. I hadn't really paid attention to it. But he said, you know, we should try and come up with something to enter into this. And so right then, after he took the earphone out of his ear and stuck it in my ear, I was sold, and I was like, that's it.
You know, usually people don't have an interesting story like that, but I really think that's pretty interesting because it takes me back to when you're walking with your friend, like, oh, this is my favorite part of the song. You're like, okay, warn me before you do that.
Right.
So you said he came up with the idea of the Hatch. So does he have any help? Is he helping with the app?
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, I am more the hands-on. I have the more hands-on approach because I have a mentor, and I'm working with Kurt Kern and the dean of the College of Business. But I definitely run all my ideas by him, and he gives me feedback and helps me figure things out. So absolutely.
All right. So you found out last semester that you were like a finalist in the Hatch, correct? So how did you stay motivated throughout this semester, because you guys started implementing your ideas, getting you know, foot on the ground? How did you stay motivated throughout the heavy workload?
Well, just the end result really is what motivated me. The fact that I knew where this could potentially go. As the weeks progressed, I learned more and more and more, and then people would come up to me. I remember a friend of mine came up to me and asked me about some of his businesses, and I had the answers, and I would never before this program be able to answer how to start a business. And so definitely just the knowledge that I've gained from it has helped to keep me motivated.
Oh, that's nice. So you said that you worked with your mentor, Kurt, right?
No, Kirk is not my mentor,
Okay.
but I guess you could call him my mentor, but my mentor is actually Aggie Haslop.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about Aggie.
Okay, well, Aggie is a Falcon alum.
Right.
She graduated from here. She got her bachelor's and master's. She worked at Marathon, and she had a full career in marketing and technology, so that would they paired us perfectly.
All right. And so are you a marketing major? Because I know you do things for KMP, the student-ran organization here, right?
Yes, I am actually communications major with a specialization in promotions and advertising.
Oh, well, you're right on it now,
Right.
then, right? All right. So what, you know, your mentor helped you. So what was her role in planning such a special invention for you?
Well, I just went to her. When we first met, she said, explain this idea to me.
Yes.
And originally, she didn't really get it. She was like, okay, well, if they think that this is something that's, you know, a good idea, then we'll go with it. And she actually went out of town, and as she was, I think in the Dominican Republic, I don't remember, but she was outside walking, and she saw two guys sharing headphones, and she was like, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so sharing headphones. We don't have to share headphones anymore,
Right.
so tell us how this app will work.
Okay, so I have my phone, you have your phone.
Okay.
I hear a song that I think you might like, or
Okay.
we're in the library together trying to study, and I say, hey, Jazz, let's sync our phones. So I send you a request to your phone, you click accept, and then with your headphones in your ear and my headphones in my ear, we can sync and listen to the same song at the same time.
So this is not like a download, so it's not like sending like a media text message or anything like that?
No.
What? I can't wait for this to come out. Okay, so when can we be expecting the app to actually hit App Store, Google Play? For one, is it going to be on App Store for Apple and Google Play for Samsung and Android users?
Okay, so yes, it's going to start off with just Apple because majority of people have Apple phones, but we do realize we have our Android users and Windows phone users out there. So the first step, we have a couple phases that we're going to go in, and so the first phase is we're going to launch it to Apple Store, the Apple Store.
All right. So the hatch is coming up. It's coming up on April 8th.
Yes.
Okay. So real quick, tell us what that day will be like for you.
Okay, for me, as a hatchling, it's going to be extremely busy. We have dress rehearsals all day. We'll be going over and over and over the presentation, trying to get it perfect. And then we'll have a break to eat lunch and kind of relax. And then afterwards, we have at 6 o'clock, we have the hatch presentation. Wow. And then after the hatch presentation, we'll have a VIP, like, kind of mixer type of reception.
So that's real fancy. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, Devin.
Thank you for having me.
All right, students, please remember that you can, send in an application to go to the hatch. Actually, you can actually win an iPad, is it? Yes, you can win an iPad, so go ahead and get that done. April 8th, okay? So stay tuned because when we come back, we'll be chatting live about all things happening in the world of popular culture. And it is the favorite time. Well, not my favorite, because I really like Devin's app. So
that was really interesting.
I'm excited for that. But discussion time. Yes, popular culture world.
My favorite.
Your favorite? Okay, so you want to kick it off?
Yes. No, you can kick it off.
Okay, I'm gonna kick it off. Kick it off. Juliana Renzik.
Yes.
Okay,
we all love her. She's on E.
I do. Oh, E. Tell me about it.
I know.
But everyone, I guess, is throwing backlash at her, talking about her because I guess the weight that she has on her body, and I think it's really sad.
I think it's sad too because she is thin, but I don't think it's her fault. I read an interview with her that she said because she used to have cancer, right? But she recovered now. So she's taking medication for that still. And that's what's making her thin because I read that she said she can eat whatever she wants to eat. She eats as much as she wants, but still like the weight doesn't hold.
It doesn't stay.
Yeah.
It messes with her metabolism. She has a very fast metabolism, so it messes with her metabolism. And this actually, goes into her talking about her surrogate had 3 miscarriages. And I know someone was saying, well, maybe the miscarriages from her surrogate comes from her embryos the embryos that she has. So maybe like the medicine could be affecting that, but it's really sad. So, they only have one child. Her and her husband only have one child, which is Duke. He is so handsome. Yeah. And, she found out that her surrogate had a miscarriage, and New Year's Eve, I believe so. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they did say, like Juliana don't know the weight loss, but it could be from the medicine, right. And that's what I heard too. It is a sad thing too that she received criticism for that.
Because she receives so much. Yeah, it's like everyone's saying she's anorexic and it's disgusting, and I think that's so rude.
You can't help that. But Juliana said it's hurtful. She said she's sorry that people think that I'm disgusting and skinny. She said as they put it, she said as they put it, but there's nothing that she can do, which is the truth.
And I think it's like terrible too because right now we're talking about like fat shaming and stuff like that, and that's bad. But I don't think people think about skinny shaming, which is also a thing, because that's hurtful too.
Yeah. All righty then. So, Cosmo. Speaking of.
Yes.
Oh, I'm scared to talk about this topic.
I think this topic is really bad. Okay. So Cosmo released this kind of like fashion like do's and don'ts, like fashions that are dead and fashions that are alive. Yeah. And for the pictures of the fashions that were alive, they had white models, but for the pictures of the fashions that were dead, they had African American models. Yeah. So what do we think about this? Is this racist?
In a sense, I read and I was like, oh, when I first seen it, because when you first see it, that's all you see is RP with the black model, and you say, hello, gorgeous, with the white model. So it seems like it is like a racist thing going on.
I think it is
but
too.
When I actually read, I was like, okay, I don't think they meant to do it on purpose, but it kind of sort of came out like it was purposely.
I just think that like even if you didn't mean to do it on purpose, like you should have like checked before you like sent this out. Like you could see that like all the models for the things that were dead were black, and then the other ones were white. Like,
and that's what questions some people have because they're wondering with their black workers or black editors that they may have. Like, did anyone like check like, oh, this is a trend? Like,
and Naya Rivera is listed as one of the models for the black that's dead, and she is gorgeous. She's on Glee. She's so pretty.
I know Naya Rivera is. Big Sean
Love
used
her.
to.
Yeah, Big Sean and her.
Used to be. But Cosmopolitan said they are into empowering and supporting all women, and they're sorry that they did that. They said they're there to support and empower all women. It is their miss, and they fell short. They said we apologize and we will do better in the future. So if you had cousin, sister of color or whatever, would you say, hey, go ahead and model for them, or would you be like,
I don't know, I think maybe hold off on that for a little bit.
Right. Well, speaking of modeling.
Speaking of beautiful, that's
Team Mother, okay, over here. Look at Team Mother. Team 3 kids, okay? And I give her respect.
She posted a picture on Instagram of her in a bikini, and she's had 3 children.
3. And I don't think I could get away with it, but she's doing a great job.
She's doing a great job, and it's been like so positive, like the comments and everything. Everyone's been saying, you look gorgeous, like I wish I could do that, and people have even been saying like, oh, like you gave me the courage to wear a bikini, like I've had this many children and I feel like I can go out in public now.
It takes a lot for that to happen.
Right. Yeah. And her body is not the perfectest, and that's what a lot of people said she was brave, that she would let her stretch mark show and be out there in the open.
Yeah, but I want people to understand, like I'm not a mother, but I have 5 other sisters.
Yeah.
And my sisters would never, put their bodies up there, but I understand that having a kid is so much, and you're giving so much to the world. You're giving, you're bringing the future.
Exactly.
Your child is the future for me, and I believe that that's a lot. And I think people need to understand, and men, anybody needs to understand that this is a lot. This is very powerful. That takes a lot of encouragement for someone to do that, and I think that when people decide, oh, I'm taking this down, or you can post it, but 5 seconds later take it down. I think they're scared because you have Kim K, who posts naked pictures of herself all the time.
I know, and people think that's the norm.
That's the norm, and it's not. And then you have Amber Rose, who just bends over a balcony, and every guy is just like, oh my gosh, did you see Amber Rose? Like, and she's to talk about it, but no, did you see Rachel? Did you see Rachel? Because I loved it.
Rachel Hollis, yeah.
Yes, and I'm Team Rachel.
Team Rachel all the way.
Team Rachel.
Team Rachel.
I'm gonna post my pictures when 5 years from now when I have children. I like it.
I love it.
Rachel. All right. That's our show for tonight.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night, everyone, and remember to tune in next week, same time and same channel.